Well, guys, we just got finished reviewing Cimarron from 1931. That's on our other channel, House 6. So if you haven't subscribed to that, go over there. I'll put the link in the description, but you can find House 6 and our other channels on our YouTube homepage. So if you want to check those out. House 6 is where we review older movies. We're going through all the Oscars for Best Picture. Cimarron is one of four Westerns to win Best Pictures. Can you guys name the other three? Thomas, go. Give us just one first.
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves. Can anyone? I'm going to give Jared and Michael a chance to guess one. So, Michael, guess a
Oh no,
Western
you
that.
went with me. Uh, the only two. Wait,
Yeah, two more.
that was a western. Did that win? I don't think that won.
Guess it.
Yes.
No, I'm not gonna guess that one.
Uh,
I don't know. I'll guess this one. Was Tombstone ever nominated or what? No,
Nope.
it's just popular.
Jared, your turn to
Good
guess
movie.
a Western.
Oh, I don't even know if this is a Western. Gone with the Wind.
No, not a Western. Okay, Thomas, give us the other one.
No Country for Old Men
Yep,
and The Unforgiven.
yep.
Is No Country for Old Men considered a western?
It's a neo-Western.
It's a neo-Western.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with No Country. No Country is definitely a neo-Western. Unforgiven is definitely a Western.
I
I
have
call
no
it
idea what that
Western.
is.
We'll watch
Clint
it
Eastwood.
soon. We'll watch it
Amazing.
someday, Michael.
Amazing movie.
And
And they did a remake with Ken Watanabe from Last Samurai. It's a samurai take on The Unforgiven. It's amazing.
Fair enough.
and then but Dances with the Wolves too is another one where I'm like, is this really a Western? I mean, it takes place in a Western setting, but it's more of like a man out of his like element.
That's a
Trying to-
Western. That's like most Westerns.
I don't know. I guess.
He rides and shoots buffalo with a Henry rifle. That's a Western.
I don't know.
Shut up, Joseph.
It's more of an epic. But yeah, so we'll get to those eventually. It took 60 years for another Western to win one, so we got
Jeez.
60 years of movies to go.
We all
let's
look over.
talk- I know.
The thunder
It's getting
goes off.
rather
We're all
loud.
just
It's
like,
getting rather loud right now.
But you guys all watched another movie this week, and we want to talk about that. So this is kind of the new movie on the block, and that's called Talk to Me. So you guys want to kind of introduce this? Because I honestly don't even know what it's about. So Jared, do you have a quick synopsis for us?
I wasn't expecting to give the synopsis, but yeah, I can go ahead and try. Talk to Me was directed by the Rocka Flocka guys or whatever the YouTube channel's called. I never remember.
Rocka
Rocka.
Rocka
Flocka schmackaradaka.
It's like Joe Pesci talking. It was directed by them. Their first attempt at a feature-length film. It was produced by A24, which like their modern horror films like Hereditary, Midsommar, and stuff like that. So what this is about is in this universe there is a little statue of a hand, and if you touch the hand and you say "talk to me," well, yeah. You say "talk to me," you see like a dead person or a ghost.
Don't touch the hand.
Why even?
And then, and most people are taken aback when they see that the first time. And then if you say "I let you in," you see even more. You're just inviting that stuff in. Your typical paranormal stuff. But this one was done a lot more, I'd say a little bit more is a little more mature, I guess you would say, or a little more. It wasn't as because he like Michael. He's not a fan of horror films. He thinks they're like the acting is bad, like the stories are bad. This one, you both had great actors who were young, but still really great actors, and pretty interesting story. Sorry, there's a lot of lightning.
Wow,
in front
that's
of
a
me.
big thunder.
But yeah, this was a pretty cool movie, I thought. And there's a lot of great discussion afterwards. Thomas invited us to go to this movie club at Alamo,
Film
and
club.
There's a lot of good points that everyone was making in the theater, and it's a great movie for discussion like that. So I'll let Michael kind of talk about his experience with this film.
You want to hear my experience with this film, Jared? So my experience with this film is we sit down. I get this older couple next to me to the left. And thank the Lord that no one bought seats next to them, because they ordered so much food at Alamo that the woman next to me had to move to the table next to her husband on the other side so they could take 2 tables up because no one else was sitting there. And never in my life have I heard anyone talk so much during a movie, ever. It was, for every line of dialogue, she had at least 2 times that much to say during that point. Thank God I couldn't hear her that well because she moved that far away. But it's like, and you could like raise an order card at Alamo, of course, but like I'm the only one sitting close to her. No one else is around her. And then it's like, it's movie club supposed to be like, group thing. So I was like, okay, I won't do it. But anyway,
I won't embarrass Thomas in this.
It was interesting. It was astonishing how much this woman could talk. Crazy. But movie itself,
she took the title very literally.
Yes, very, very literally. But the movie itself, like Jared said, I was very, very thoroughly, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me here.
Impressed?
Impressed isn't the one. Surprised isn't what I'm going for either. There's a word there, and I can't figure it out. Anyway, I did enjoy
surprised?
This. Pleasantly surprised, maybe. I don't know. Pleasantly surprised sounds right.
I don't know what to do with you, Michael.
I don't know either.
You never like the words we give you.
Expectations.
Take them all back. I don't want them. But yeah. So for a horror movie, like Jared said, normally, like my issue with horror movies is one, they either let down in the end every single time because they're like, they have this great build up. Oh, mystery, no, and then poof, bloody. Like Get Out is a perfect example. Love 3/4 of Get Out. So interesting, the intensity. Like, oh, what is the mystery going? Then it just turns into a slasher. I'm gonna get out of this house. Like, why is it? Why? Be more clever. Be more clever. But this movie doesn't do that at all. Like, it almost doesn't even. I said this at the post discussion. It almost doesn't even focus on the hand really in the story at all. And even the main characters, it kind of. Like, I knew that the black girl was the main character because they showed in the previous Alamo things how that she was the lead. And so it's like, okay, but then I kind of forgot about it to like probably halfway through the movie. And because they had focused so much on this brother and sister that were kind of like a part of the group. Because like Jared pointed out in the post session, they treat the hand a lot like a drug. So like it gets in the hand of these teenagers and they start just kind of like getting high off of it in groups. And so they're all like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. Yeah. Whoa. Oh man, that was a good one. You're next, whatever. So they just kind of parties with it. And I feel like even the editing was really, really well done when they lead it to the point where it kind of turns and flips. And I won't spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet, but they do a good point where it turns and flips and it points the direction back to our lead actor, and that's where the story kind of takes off from there. Like, oh, hey, this is your story now. We're moving forward. But they kind of like they do a really good job placing bits of information in the beginning, and they just kind of leave it there. It's like, hey, we're going to come back and address this, and it's going to mean something now. But it's like you don't need to think about it or worry about it. You just need to know it's there. They do a really good job, and the movie, like, it isn't. A guy behind us brought up. He was like, it's interesting because you think of like. These people being like social media and stuff. I expected more social media and like quick, snappy stuff. And so I said after he got done talking that it surprised me too because of how long this movie took to get to the plots and everything. Like they really took their time. It wasn't this kind of like head rush, boom, boom, we're going to keep going and crazy, YouTube's pizzazz, whatever. It's very slow and methodical. And I really appreciated how they built up to the whole story and then a lot of unexpected things in the end. And like some of them I was like, okay, like I told Jared, I was like, it kind of almost crossed the line for me a few points where they kind of like the people they see. I'm like, okay, you're real gross and goopy. Like, all right, you're going a little too far with the kind of like overdone horror aspect of visualization, whatever. But they didn't ever cross the line, which I was very happy about. But they had a lot of surprises that I really appreciated toward the end of the movie, which I won't spoil again. But yeah, it wasn't like horror for horror's sake. It was almost there. Like I said, it's very close at certain points where I'm like, all right, we're getting a little ridiculous, but we didn't jump the line. I'm like, I'm glad we didn't jump the line there because I felt like it definitely had a really good, really, really interesting story to tell and played a lot with twists and turns. So I enjoyed it. Very good performances as well. What was it from Australia? They're Australian? Yeah. Very good. So I liked it.
Fairly unknown too. I don't think anybody who's really done much acting either.
And I love last thing I'll say is the previous stuff in Alamo. They showed the guys when they first learned who picked up their movie because it's A24 and they're like, oh, we just hoped someone would buy the movie to distribute it. And they're like, and we got the crowning jewel of all of them. Like shows them and their manager, whoever comes up to them, and they're like, it's A24. And they're just like, oh my God, like they're freaking out in the middle of the street. It was like, oh, could you imagine? It was so cool. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Very good. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah. I'm really glad that I finally got people to come out to film club. About time. And we got one, I got people to come out to film club, and two, we actually got Michael to see a horror movie. 2 for 1.
This is true.
That was a big thing for me. I was really impressed with the world building for this one. I think Michael kind of touched on it a little bit, was that it sets up like the rules of what goes on, and it really does stick to those rules. There's no like crappy cop out or whatever like that. I don't want to spoil anything either, but I was really satisfied with the way that they ended it. Unlike the woman sitting next to Michael,
she was not happy.
Good,
she didn't really like the ending.
She was very, very what do you call it? Not passionate. She was very vocal about
emphatic about her opinion on that.
Really?
She was like, I just didn't like that. I didn't like before the credits were done. She was like yelling, like, I just didn't like that. We're like, we don't like care, lady. Ending. Like, we're like, shut up.
Maybe she was talking about her food.
Either that or the
not like the ending of that burger.
Yeah, or the bazillion drinks that they ordered. Good.
They did have a lot of alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They honestly should have cut them off. But this was a really good first attempt by these guys. I was really impressed. Something that I was actually really impressed by, and I think it's from their YouTube stuff, was the editing in this was so good. Everything was very concise. I could follow what was going on, especially during, how much I want to give away, the scene with the younger brother. That was intense, and they knew when to cut off and not go too far, because I was worried that they're just gonna this is gonna just be super gory, super exploitative and kind of stuff like that, which that has place in horror movie, but not in this one, where it was very much.
I wasn't expecting a lot of gore or worried about it. I was scared. I was worried about the jump scares and how much they were going to rely on it, and there wasn't that much.
There really wasn't.
And even when there was a jump scare, the music was the sound was kind of muted or subtle, where it didn't pierce your ears. So I was happy about that.
Unlike one movie.
Yeah.
Was there a toy phone involved?
No, thankfully, no. But yeah, I was really impressed with this. And just, I really liked the ending, to be honest with you.
The ending was almost I would never expect that from a first time kind of team for a movie. It seemed like a very experienced director or writer would end with that.
Yeah. So I was really impressed. I'm glad that they're getting the attention. I think we've mentioned this a few times, is that since this whole Hollywood debacle is going down, this is giving a lot of attention to indie directors, and especially this is exactly what I want. Is these small time productions are actually getting a massive amount of attention because there's nothing out there, and this is a really good first attempt, and I was really impressed. So
a question I wanted to ask, but wasn't appropriate, I guess, for film club for me to ask a question, but did it at any time feel like it was made by YouTubers or had a YouTuber kind of feel to it, or did it the whole time feel like just like a movie production or kind of a Hollywood movie?
I would say not YouTuber, but it was competently made. And I think the host, Dr. I forgot his name. Anyway, what he brought up was that first scene was a very well put together scene. That first, walkthrough of that party or whatever that they had. That was like an unbroken shot, which is really good. And that was like a 6-minute scene. And they did a really good job on it. I couldn't tell that it was like, YouTubers making a movie. It was just, it was a very competently made movie.
Yeah, not really for me. The only part that felt different and off was whenever she has, I'll just say it simply, that she has the person in the wheelchair at the end when they're outside. That's whenever it feels like they didn't have control over their environments as much, because like everything else was very stylized and very well lit and everything. But then that was the one point where they're kind of outside. It just felt jarring to me. It wasn't bad in the slides, but it just felt different.
And no spoilers on this one, but the ending part where, how do I say this? The lighting for each part of when she's like going through, that area or whatever, like when the black would like encompass like the field of view, that was great. I loved that.
I like that was very well done. But
and then especially at the very end where it has that one singular shot, I like that because it brings pretty much what was going on from the hand into light, literally into light.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's hard not to talk about spoilers because
well, you did it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Our first no spoiler.
That's true. We should have just spoiled it. But
I feel like this one's fresh enough. And you can talk about it without, because I mean, really, like the premise of the movie is the movie, and like the only spoilers are like the ending culminations of everything.
Yeah,
but it's not really like, which like Jared said, like the ending of the movie. There are several points where I feel like when you're writing something like this, you think, oh, this is the point that's going to hit. I'm like waiting for it. I'm like, I feel like there were at least 3 or 4 of them. And especially that last point, but that wasn't the only point that I'm like, oh, I bet that was so satisfying to get to. But yeah, so I liked it.
Cool. So a thumbs up on that hand. All right. So let's check out the box office for this weekend like we usually do.
Dun dun dun.
I guess it's last weekend now, but so Barbie's still the big winner at number 1. Meg 2 coming in.
Oh my god!
At number 2.
I saw some teenagers at the theater walk into this, and I looked up and I was like, "There's a Meg 2." I was like, "What are they going to watch?" And I was disappointed.
Funny. Oh, go ahead.
Apparently, it's not very good, but it's still got second.
No. Well, okay, so quick backstory here. So I went through a massive depressive spell back when I was living in DFW, and I went to an Alamo Draft House to watch like some kind of art house movie. So I left the movie, and this was like at 9-10 p.m. And I just didn't want to go home. I was like, I'm really not feeling good. I don't want to be home. I don't want to do this. And I look up, and like there's like 10 minutes before the first Meg movie starts. And I looked at the attendant. I'm like, is there anybody in this movie? She's like, one person bought a ticket. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to be that one guy that ruins the night for the server. Exactly. I'm like, I'll buy a ticket. And I had so much fun watching this movie. It even convinced me to buy the book. And I bought the book and I read it. And
there's a book?
There's a book, and there's a sequel to the book called The Trench.
Is it a pop-up book? Like what?
No, it's actually a really good book. Like the first one is anyway. The second one, not so much. But the first one's actually but the first one's actually really good. It's a good book. And
oh man.
I had so much fun watching the Meg. Like it was just like, you know what? It's Jason Statham killing a giant shark. I know what I got myself into.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people were hoping for Meg 2, but it hasn't delivered. Most reviews I've heard. So it just barely beat out Oppenheimer at number 3.
That's shocking.
And then the other new one, Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Close, a close 4th up there, the Nickelodeon movie. And then Haunted Mansion, sadly, way down there at 9.2. Like Michael said last week, I've heard some more good stuff. That it's not a bad movie. It's pretty fun, but not showing up at the box
Disney
office.
Plus.
Yeah. And then you guys want to check out the tops for the year. Mario's still up there, but it's getting chased down by Barbie, which will probably
boy.
surpass it.
If Barbie like catches Avatar or like any of those movies, I'm gonna
In game,
have words with people.
they are making Mattel's all into the sequels now, so
a bunch of
We're
toy
getting-
movies now.
we're getting Polly Pocket. We know.
Oh my god.
Uno.
Is
Hot
there any
Wheels.
toys you guys think should be movie?
They're doing a a tie-in GI Joe movie with
Transformers?
yeah, Transformers and GI Joe.
They hinted
That'll
at
go
it.
well.
Well, no, okay, the comic. Okay, this is also going weird here. I was a big fan of the GI Joe Transformer comic book. Like,
Mhm.
I loved it. There's also like a really dark version that they're like in World War II. It's really good, but
Yeah,
I think it's,
the Dreamwave one was cool. Or the,
so. But the thing is, I just don't think it translates very well to the movie, like at all. And so,
because there's human.
exactly.
They
So,
don't need
I
no
just-
human kids on the next thing.
Mm-mm.
Spider-Man still 3, Guardians 4, Little Mermaid 5. So it's your box office so far this year. I think Dune's probably the biggest one we have left. Do you guys think, or do you think something else could challenge?
Probably Dune.
Yeah, I don't think the Marvels is going to do anything, honestly.
No.
Like that's dead in the water.
That might be their first flop, actually.
Yeah, their first official flop. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dune didn't do great the first time though, but it did have that weird thing where it came out on HBO and
Yeah.
theaters at the same
Yeah,
time.
that was a mistake. Like
Yeah,
they
that-
shouldn't have done that.
That probably bit into that box office for it. So maybe the second one will do better. And then the director's like, we should probably wait for 10 years and then do the third one. That's what I've heard.
There
'Cause
you go.
to let the cast like age a
Age
little.
of-
I was gonna say you really can't age up Timothy Chalamet. He's kind of like been the same age
One
for
of
the
those
past
immortal
10
boys.
years. Yeah,
A forever child.
yeah.
He was in well, we'll get into our watch list. He was in Interstellar, which I watched this
True.
weekend. So I forgot he was in that. He looked pretty young. It's weird because he looks young now, but he looked different young then.
Yeah.
He just
It's true.
turns into a different kid as he ages. And then I watched Stillwater with Matt Damon. It was an interesting movie. It's about a guy from Oklahoma. His daughter's in jail in
Freaking Oklahoma.
I know.
Oklahoma.
His daughter's in jail in France.
I
Oh,
remember
this
the
one.
trailers for
This is called
yeah.
Taken.
This is a
It's
weird,
not like
like-
Taken at all, though. I mean, the trailers made it look like that, but it's not. It's just him trying to deal with.
Oh, I do remember the trailers for this now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of dealing with his daughter being in jail, and he wants to get her out, but he's not successful at doing that. So he meets like this family, and he kind of comes to know them, and things go terribly wrong, and then it's over. But it was all right. It's a pretty good streaming movie, I would say. I'm glad I didn't really pay money for it. And then I finished the second season of Mayor of Kingstown, which is Jeremy Renner in
What was that?
Mayor of Kingstown.
Okay, sorry, you went robot.
Oh, sorry.
So,
So
Yeah.
so this is Jeremy Renner in the Sheridan verse. So I've seen like an episode of Yellowstone. I've seen this. His stuff just gives me soap opera vibes, and I can't shake them. So I'm still waiting for the good Sheridan, the show that will turn me to his stuff. But this show's pretty brutal. It's about prison life, so you would expect that. And it's interesting. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but if you have it for free, you might as well watch it. And if you're looking for some 10-episode drama, I guess. And Jeremy Renner's great in it. good actor. So yeah, that's all I watched. So what do you guys want to? Who wants to go next?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay.
Let's see what we got on the old list here. All right, so I finished
List.
list Righteous Gemstone season 3, which just ended like a week or two ago.
Is this?
I love this show, man. John Goodman and the guy from Hot Rod. It's about the mega church.
The
It's-
preacher.
It's pretty much, I've described it this way because I've told Johnny to watch it. It's Breaking Bad with My Name is Earl fused. And it's like, you can't, like, it doesn't make sense, but it's so perfect. Like, there's these moments where they're like, it's just Breaking Bad completely, like murder, there's crazy stuff going on. And then you have these ridiculous, just dumb characters that are just straight out of My Name is Earl. I don't know. Very fun show. Very, very, very dumb. We already talked about Talk to Me, which is on the list. And then we went and saw TMNT, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Absolutely.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Like,
Wait, did you see that with Johnny?
no, I saw it with Alex.
Okay.
Johnny went
Okay.
on Tuesday or something. I was like, I'm not going at 9:00 on a Tuesday, man.
Yeah, he mentioned that it was really good and that he liked it.
It's real. The characters are so good. It has a very typical story, which is unfortunate. That's my only complaint with
yeah.
it. Is like the villain's very typical. What happens with the villain's very typical, and then the ending's typical. But like the actual characters of the turtles, they're so good. Their voices are so good. The voice actors and everything. And then I totally forgot. I'm on a Jackie Chan kick. I forgot he was Splinter. He comes in and I
Oh,
was like,
really?
oh my gosh, freaking Jackie. He's so good. There is one absolutely weird. Alex blames Seth Rogen writing this in. There's a very weird point with Jackie Chan and a bug, or Splinter and a bug. It's very weird. Very
I
weird.
think
But
I've heard of that.
apart from that, very good movie. Great characters. Very, very fun. And then I had one more movie on here, and then a TV show. I watched Renfield, which was the
Was it good?
Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Holt. Well, I just realized both names Nicholas. Weird. Just clicked. It's one of those just dumb but really enjoyable movies. Like it's like it's definitely like a Redbox movie, or like if it's streaming. Like Corey signed it into his Paramount for something at our house, or not Paramount.
So
Peacock.
you stole his account.
And so I was like, Corey, can I watch this? He was like, sure. So I watched so I watched Renfield. Yeah, it's very, very dumb, but very, very good. Nicolas Cage is actually great as Dracula. Like he does a great job as Dracula. Like, this is awesome. And freaking Ben Schwartz, man. I want that man in everything. I just want to see him. I want to hear his voice all the time. He's good. He plays like a douchebaggy, like mob's kid villain that goes crazy, and like he just does everything great. I like
He's a
that guy a lot.
perfect villain.
He is. He's very good. I like him a lot. And then the last thing that I was like, you know what? Why not? I got nothing to do for the next, whatever the heck, 5 hours. So I watched all of Twisted Metal in one sitting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I've heard people actually like it.
It's actually good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed myself with it. And they're only 30-minute episodes. I was like, sure, why not? And I was like the middle of the
How
night.
many episodes?
10.
10.
So it's like, it's not short, but it's not long. And I was like, I have literally nothing to do right now. So that's what I did.
I just can't imagine it being good.
It's stupid. The characters don't make a lot of like they're very bipolar. Like at one point, because it's Anthony Mackie from Marvel as we know him, and then it has Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know what her actual name is. I apologize, but and they're very bipolar. Like half the times they're fighting, half the times they're like getting at it, and I'm just like, what is happening? But like the actual characters, Will Arnett is great as Sweet Tooth, and his character is actually his arc is very
Will
fun.
Arnett?
Will Arnett is Sweet Tooth?
He does the voice. They have a body, do the body guy, but
I was like,
Will Arnett
wow,
doesn't.
he gained a lot of weight for that movie.
That'd be impressive.
For that show.
But yeah, super fun show. I was thoroughly surprised at that it wasn't terrible. It's not.
Oh.
You're not gonna like shoot to the moon. You got to watch this. It's just a fun romp of ridiculousness. The CG's not that great, but the cars are fun. At the end, he does get a Camaro like mine, so that's pretty dope.
Nice.
And so I think, that's all I watched. But yeah.
Cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So yeah, we did do Talk to Me. I also watched another Werner Herzog documentary called Ballad of the Little Soldier. It's about these child soldiers in South Africa.
No, I feel bad for my little hand gesture.
Yeah.
Way to go, Michael.
It's a pretty serious subject there, Michael. It was good. It was only like 30 something minutes long. It was really short. This is one of his earlier ones, so it's kind of weird. It's all in German. He is German, but most of his documentaries are in English, and so it was kind of a jarring thing to hear. But the only thing I didn't like is that he co-directed it with this French guy, and
You hate the
biggest
French.
thing I do hate the French. Well, the thing is, like, one of the reasons I like Herzog's documentaries is that he just films people and just narrates what's happening, and you draw your own conclusions from that. Like, I like that because it comes off as very unbiased, and he's providing all the context, so you have to make the judgment. That's your call. But then you got this French guy who's talking to these guys about, training kids or whatever, and he's like full blown, like inserting his own political beliefs into everything that they do, and they're like, "What do you know, dude? Like, get out of here! Like, you don't even live here. This is a tourist thing for you." And so I hated that he did that, and he liked to be in the front of the camera. And it just annoyed me, and that's another reason I like Herzog's documentaries, is that he, except for very rare circumstances, he does not like to go in front of the camera for the documentaries.
Mandalorian.
And for Mandalorian, that's true. So yeah, it was good. Not one of my favorite ones of his, but I'm glad I watched it. And another one I watched, and for some reason I deleted the name for some reason. I don't know why I did that.
Why would you do
fool.
that?
I don't know. One second. It is his volcano. Into the Inferno. Sorry. On Netflix, and I actually got to watch that in 4K on my TV, and it's awesome. It's actually kind of a sequel of sorts to his Arctic one, because in the Arctic they actually go to the volcano that's in the Arctic, and this is the same volcanologist that they did that one. He actually made a documentary of this one. It's very good, very interesting. And again, the shots in itself are pretty awesome, especially in 4K. It's pretty cool to see. Joseph was watching Kingstown. Speaking of Taylor Sheridan, I just watched 1883. That's his other Yellowstone verse, and it was really good. There's like one or two parts I'm like, oh, it's kind of stupid. This one girl.
I hear the prequels are better than Yellowstone.
It's not bad. Like, I actually did like a lot of it more than I like Yellowstone, and I just started the one with Harrison Ford, 1923, and he's really good in it. But there's like this one part where this girl is riding up against a buffalo, and she takes out this tiny pistol and shoots it, and it just drops dead. I'm just like, there's no freaking way. Like, I'm sorry, but like buffalo hunters, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's
the cricket.
You think that was the reaction from what the buffalo did? I was just like, that's like a tiny, like the bullet that she shot is like this tiny, and it kills a buffalo. She doesn't even shoot it like in the face or anything. It was just in the back. I'm just like,
maybe it's a weak buffalo.
I
You
guess
hit the critical point.
Yeah.
I once saw a movie where a guy rides a buffalo during the whole movie.
There you go. But yeah, I like that series, and I'm actually really excited to watch the 1923 one. And then I'm going to watch Mayor Kingstown and is it Tulsa King or whatever?
Tulsa King, yeah.
How much does this guy do?
With Stallone, he does
He's got
everything,
a
man.
ton.
Chill out.
He makes CBS money. That's what he does.
Well, you got that one, and then I'm going to watch The Lioness, and then Plainsman, and the 4-6 one when it comes out. So pretty excited about those. I am going through Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm on season 3. Thank
You're supposed
God.
to wait for Michael. We need to make him watch it.
Oh my God!
I
I'm so
almost
glad.
made a joke earlier because you said volcanist, like a
like a
volcanist, but it sounded like you said volcanist. But I was like, I can't say that. They'll bring up Star Trek.
I will always bring up Star Trek, Michael.
It's always on the brain.
They haven't
always
brought
on
up
the
the
brain.
other thing yet, though.
True.
That's true.
I'm
could.
Jared's been watching nothing. Skip him.
But yeah, I'm really glad I got to season 3 because good God Almighty, Those first 2 seasons, that was hard to get through. And I didn't even get through all of them. I skipped a lot. I was like, I can't do this. Can't do it. Can't do it. Sorry.
Me and Jonah just watched Trouble with Tribbles.
That's a good episode.
Say that 10 times fast.
Trouble.
There was another one that wasn't as good where they go to this gangster world and everyone's gangsters. It's pretty bad.
I do like in
God.
Deep Space Nine where they go back and they have like Worf there and like
Oh,
those
yeah.
are Klingons. Like we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then the last thing I did was I read Lonesome Dove, the book. Fantastic book. Which, so I just finished Lonesome Dove, and then I watched Cimarron, and there
Which
is
one's
a
better?
dress. Oh, yeah. Well, there's this.
One's got
There's a-
Yancey.
Yancey, man.
Well, okay, you say that, but one has Augustus McCrae and Woodrow F. Call. So I mean, there you go. It's fantastic. Like I can't wait to watch the miniseries with Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones because they're just awesome.
Isn't it? What's his name? The singer. Isn't he in that?
Yes,
the country
he plays-
singer.
Yeah, plays Jake Spoon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I ever remember of Lonesome Dove is that he's in there.
That and freaking what's her name from The Outsiders? Diane Lane.
Diane Lane, yeah.
Danny Glover. I mean, there's a ton of people in this movie. Chris Cooper's in that show.
Lonesome
yeah.
Dove is about the pigeon lady when Kevin leaves New York and she is alone.
She goes even crazier. Starts making dolls of Kevin.
Oh my.
But yeah, that's about it. Also, one more thing.
God.
No.
One more thing.
Oh,
It's
this is
it's still summer.
but it rained, Michael.
I know.
He
Maybe
needs it for the rain.
If
My
it keep-
last one came in.
if it keeps raining, you can keep buying them.
Well, this is I only bought 3, and this is the last one that finally came in.
Well, if it stops raining, then you have to buy more so
Yeah,
to make it
that's
rain.
true.
That's true. That's true. This one's cool though. It's kind of a gray one. Probably the more rugged looking one. So
Joseph, show off your watches now. It's a
yeah, do it.
Where's your new controller, Joseph?
Jared, what you got?
Okay,
What you got? What you got, Jared?
What you got? What you want?
What you got?
Dare bring up Gundam.
So I'm further into Zeta Gundam. Char got his golden Gundam. It's pretty sweet. That's the
It's
best
pretty
Gundam
awesome.
in this
It's pretty
series.
cool.
The Golden Gundam.
Although this is the last point I'll make, Michael. Amuro was reintroduced into the series, but he has a new voice actor. It's not the same
Yeah.
voice actor as like Light Yagami from the original series.
Ooh.
So I was very, very put off. I didn't like it. It was like it sounded like some scrub. I told Thomas.
Yeah.
Um,
So one thing, because it's related to this, is that we were cleaning one of the schools and they had a huge manga section. Okay. In a high school, which I was like, okay, that's impressive. Whatever. The only Gundam manga series that they had was Seed.
your favorite.
The only one. I was like, you're kidding. And it was like
Destiny.
the entire thing too. I was like, you got to be kidding. Like, really? Someone went out of their way to get these.
And they're like, hey, we'll throw in a free SD Gundam DVD
Oh,
for you.
So a little history for the listeners. That's Thomas's favorite Gundam series. And the reason why is because a little boy gives another little boy
Oh,
a canary,
Freaking bird.
right before he goes off to war. It's a robotic bird.
Take
And he's
this.
like, here, you can have my bird. It's a very touching scene.
that's what the kids are calling it these days.
Very romantic.
Giving him the bird.
And that's why that's Thomas's favorite Gundam series.
Yep.
Anyway, the next
Absolutely
thing
love it.
another thing I've been watching is, well, I watched the first episode is Zom 101
I watched that too.
or Zom 100.
What is it?
The production of this, I haven't seen any more. The first episode was ridiculous. It looked like an anime movie. I was like, geez,
It
man,
was good.
the budget on this episode is ridiculous. But this is a really good first episode. I thought it was very strong. So it's a zombie thing, Joseph, but
Oh, gross.
it's kind of cool. It's about this salary man. He first goes into the workforce and he gets a little taste of like how bad these exploitative companies can be, because they're there for, like, one guy's like, let me know when you hit 200 hours, then you can complain. But then after a little while, after 5 years, I think he was there, 3 or 5 years, an outbreak happens, and his first thought was like, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I was like, man, I would think the same thing too.
I highly relate to that. Yes.
But no, the biggest thing that stood out to me was like just how the production was like ridiculous on this first episode. It was really cool. And just like how you would think, like in a normal zombie thing, once the zombies hit, the colors would be all muted and stuff like that. When the zombies hit, it's all colorful now, and like he sees blue skies now because he's happy he doesn't have to go to work.
And why is all their blood splatters like paintballs? Like it's like orange, blue, green, purple. I was like, what is happening? Is this just his happiness coming out?
I really enjoy it. I can't wait to watch more. I've been continuing Bleach, the second season of the 100-Year Blood War. And again, this most recent episode, it's like they threw all their budget into it. In one of the fights, I was like, my gosh, it looked awesome. And this season, I love it because there's so much little variations from the manga that you see, and you're like, man, this is going to go somewhere a lot better than how the manga ended.
Really?
Please,
Yeah.
for the love of God.
He ends up with Rukia. No.
No, I'm not even going to go there. I'm wishing that they had more than just like 3 pages to end the damn thing. Like,
It looks like the ending's going to be the most important thing.
okay, good, because it was not in the manga.
There is a change that happened because they have like these end after credit scenes, and these are the biggest changes, and it's crazy what they're suggesting for a character.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
No, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, Joseph's watching it, and if I told you, it'd be like there would be no
Big
point
spoilers.
to watch it. Yeah. But my man,
Don Kanoji comes back on. That's what it is.
I wish. I really like
I love Duncan.
Kinsey. If you know that captain, Kinsey, he was a visor. He was like the white
Mhm.
hair captain. He's the captain of Squad 9 now. So cool. I don't know
Dude.
why he's not the main character. He's so cool.
Dude, I like almost all the Vizards. Like, they are awesome.
Yeah. Except for like the superhero chick. I
Yeah.
didn't really like her. Anyway,
I even like the younger one too. She was cool.
yeah.
The sub captain, I think, or
Yeah.
the lieutenant.
Oh yeah. Shinji's lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, these seasons are incredible, especially if you watch Bleach. It's really paying off.
I mean, it was so long ago, and now it's back.
It's true.
last thing I watched was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I can never remember that title. I finally watched it. I was surprised how much I loved this movie. Didn't care for the daughter though. Like, she just seemed like a brat, and we all had to feel bad for her for being a brat.
Okay, I have a question.
Not a
about
brat,
this,
but
Jared.
she just wanted things her way.
Selfish.
Yeah.
I have a question, Jared. Did the rock scene get to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially when it like rolled off.
Mhm.
I was like, oh.
Did you like
The whole end I was tearing up. The husband,
Oh, I know.
and how he was like, I fight by being nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice. I was like, oh, poor little man.
Did you like the fight scenes
Yeah.
with the fanny pack?
Oh yeah, that was cool. I like when that one lady used her dog as
Yeah.
the same fighting style.
Dude,
It was a little much. I bet Michael didn't like it, but like the butt stuff.
Oh
The
yeah.
butt plug. Alex hated it way more than I did. He hated it.
I thought that was like out of an anime. That was hilarious. Like
Just
that
like-
big dude just goes. Whoosh.
Do you think you get one of these for not being a great accountant?
Oh, she was really good in this movie. Jamie Lee
Curtis?
Curtis.
Yeah, she's great.
I was surprised how like well she did in this movie. I was like, dang.
I've seen her a lot lately. She was in Haunted Mansion as well.
Oh, really?
There's tons of people in that
Fair.
movie.
Yeah, true.
I kind of sad that I didn't get to talk about it with you guys, but I really liked it.
I'm glad.
Sweet. That
That's
all?
Yeah, that's all I watched.
Cool. Anything else we missing? Did you guys see that thing in New York where they were giving away a PS5?
Oh, good lord.
There
That
was a
is
riot.
nuts.
You didn't see that?
Uh-uh.
So some YouTuber, I don't even know who he is.
He's a Twitch streamer.
Oh, Twitch streamer. Okay.
Oh, I
He's
saw
like-
the headline of him like being arrested or something like that.
Yeah. They
Oh,
arrested
yeah.
him because he started a riot. 'cause
He
he's like,
incited like 3 riots
Oh my god,
I'm
really?
gonna give him
Over-
free PS5.
over one PS5.
Oh my god, dude. They're on shelves now, people. Calm down.
I know. So yeah.
I think the estimation was like $20 million of damage.
Jeez.
Like, it is nuts.
Holy. Yeah, that's like oopsie.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. I was gonna add. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently, so the local record shop here, Ralph's Records, they had a
Oh,
short film filmed entirely in their shop that apparently won an award or something like that. So
Really?
I wanted to watch it.
Dang.
Yeah. So
it's pretty
cool.
good.
I was gonna watch that, but I haven't watched it yet.
Cool. You
So
can
put
tell
that
us
up
when
there.
you do.
Yeah.
So
if
they're
anyone-
finally. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if anyone wanted to check it out, it's Ralph's Records on Instagram was where they posted the. I guess it was in their stories, so I don't know how you'd find it now. I don't know.
They have a link to it
It's still
on
linked
the
to it. Okay,
page.
Nice.
Oh,
So
gotta
they're finally
remember to
figuring-
check that out. Okay.
They're finally figuring out that Shar is this glasses man. They're like, how could he lie?
How could he lie? He, like, how could he? No, what? Quattro is Char?
It's like
They're
in,
nothing alike.
There's nothing alike.
it's like in Thomas's favorite, where that guy was like, "You're a girl the whole time."
There was one more thing. There was a scene with Shar, and they were just going through like briefings. He has a bottle of Coke, and he's just like sitting there all cool with his bottle of Coke. I was like, this guy,
Especially when he does like that lean. He does like,
yeah, in his sleeveless vest.
yeah, his vest,
Oh my
freaking vest.
goodness.
Oh, I got a vest. Well, I'll show you later.
Oh, that's for next time. Thomas's dress up corner.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
You gotta turn your
man.
camera vertical.
So
I can't.
what-
That's my whole computer.
Turn your camera sideways.
Oh, so that's gonna do it for this episode of bonus stuff. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we're gonna review Gran Turismo next time, so come back for that. And we
Whoa.
will see you next time. Bye.